Hello students, welcome to your second week of summer school, second, almost last week you could say, of summer school. And what we're going to be looking at this week is Africa, at least starting the week looking at Africa. And real fascinating place if you've learned about it before, had a chance to visit, know somebody from Africa. Fascinating continent, and sometimes we kind of group it all into being kind of one category of African. But when you, hopefully from this lesson, you'll see it's a massive and extremely diverse and very unique place. All places of the world are unique, but I think sometimes we don't recognize fully just how unique and special Africa is when it comes to just the different geographic places, the different physical landscapes, and the many different people that live there and cultures. So what you guys are going to be doing this week, and you guys will see this on your Google Classroom and Canvas posting. The directions are broken down for you guys 1 through 10, and it starts you off kind of looking at the Google slides that we're going to take a look at here really quick. And just to take a look at those Google slides, same directions on there after this video. You guys are going to be looking kind of at these Google slides or at these slides with the purpose of getting an idea about Africa. And Africa is, again, one of those places where we sometimes think we know about it, and we obviously do have information about it, but how much and how much of it really kind of covers all of Africa is usually very small. And just to give you some idea about something we usually aren't aware of with Africa, just how physically big it is. Really, you can fit almost 2.5 United States in it. And so just gives you some idea of the size, scale, and just diversity you can have in an area like that. If you ever traveled the United States, the East Coast is very different than the West Coast. And if you travel from, say, West Africa to East Africa, you're not only traveling across the distance to the United States, but almost a whole other United States, especially to get to the Horn of Africa over there. So very diverse areas, from north to south, east to west, lots of different peoples, lots of different cultures, and something that you really don't see in too many other parts of the earth. Okay, so countries of Africa. I just thought this video would be really kind of neat for you to get a look at, to just start developing some knowledge. The 55 countries and really 54 members of the African Union. So anyway, just kind of the national boundaries, they really seem to fit with that much diversity. And really it doesn't. And what you see on here, and we'll see when you guys look at it, the many different ethnic groups. So, hopefully you have some idea, from your world studies or previous history classes with the idea of ethnicity. Ethnicity divides, somebody based on physical characteristics, but also language and cultural characteristics, and the different ethnic groups of Africa. Huge diversity, and several hundred or thousands of different ethnic groups there. And this map kind of shows you those. And then just to break it down and maybe a little more easier area to focus on, 250 different ethnic groups in Nigeria alone. And so Nigeria, not unique, but one of the ones with the greatest amount of diversity in it. So just kind of a question there, what benefits or problems could that bring? And then to give you guys some idea of why you're doing this assignment, what the assignment will look like, I did a country overview. This will be the worksheet you're doing. I did a country overview of Nigeria. And so just like what you're going to be doing, this country overview slide does what you're going to be doing on your country overviews worksheet. So starting with Ethiopia and kind of working down from there, you'll be coming up with 5 facts, a current news article, and if it's within the assigned letters for your last name, maybe doing 2, or not maybe, but doing 2 videos on it if it's one that you choose. So anyway, all the countries are listed there, and Nigeria is on here as an example. Okay, and you have the 5 facts, you have the country overview, or the current news, and then the videos. And the videos, you guys will see this in the directions that I just want to, this might be confusing, but hopefully it's not. If your last name starts with an A, and A through L, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, you're going to be doing the countries of Africa that start with either A through M. So you choose 5 countries from A through M. Okay, if your last name starts with an M through Z, so my last name starts with an R, so I'd be in this category. That means I'd be doing an African country or 5 African countries that start with either N through Z. Okay, and what you're doing is you're finding videos, and the videos can be really neat learning resources. I definitely like them. If you guys have noticed in my slides, you're going to find 2. I found 3 for you guys here, and actually I found 4. So kind of something about Lagos, Nigeria, the capital of Nigeria, really beautiful city. My brother traveled there. The street food of Lagos, a slum in Lagos, so poor people still in even the wealthiest of cities. And I thought this was really fun, something I kind of like. I like funny videos. This is really funny. You know, you have Hollywood here in the United States. Hollywood is kind of the capital of the American movie making. All things in some way or another go through Hollywood. But as major as it is around the world, and definitely major for us, it's not the biggest. Hollywood is not the biggest filmmaking organization in the world. If you know this is a trivia question, the biggest is Bollywood in India. In India, I think they turn out for every U.S. film that's made, they make like 3. So they proportionally, if we make 10 films, they have 30. Just an amazing kind of output for them. But the Nigerians are in that same vein. I think they make, for every 10 films that are made in the United States, they make 20. And something kind of funny happens when you make that many films that fast, in that short of time periods. The storylines and sometimes the special effects get a little goofy. And if you take a look at some of the clips from Nollywood, as they call the Nigerian film industry, you might get a chance to see some of what that looks like. I'm also the wrestling coach. So, something you guys will see on here. I don't know. I've got 2 videos on wrestling in Africa. Really good kind of wrestling culture in Africa. Some really outstanding wrestlers. A guy I wrestled in college from Nigeria went on to win a gold medal in the Olympics, and just really outstanding kind of connection to the sport, and almost like kind of one of those areas where the sport goes back to the very kind of dawns of human existence. So really neat videos to look at. Okay. So let me show you that link really quick. Forgot to show you that. So this link is going to be where you guys, and I'll click onto it from your directions here. So on the directions, go into them really quick, and then I'll click over to it. To get information on each of the countries that you'll be doing, the 49 you'll be doing, you guys can see here this link. Move it over, and I can click on that link. And that takes me to a resource provided by Michigan State University. And Michigan State University, great wrestling team there. Anyway, it gives you a map of Africa, and the various countries of Africa are found on there, and I can go to them. So you can see I'm going to go, look, there's Tanzania, there's Nigeria. Go up. I can get to, and I basically just click on them. I'm just going to click on Nigeria since we've mentioned it about 7 or 8 times. When I click on it, it takes me to a breakdown on what's going on in Nigeria. So current information. So this is what you're going to have for your overview. 5 interesting facts. Maybe you could talk about their economy, their presidential or their governmental system, their religious breakdown, the languages spoken there. English is the official language. The amount of people living there. 330 million almost people living in the United States, 215 million or almost 215 million living there. So big country. And then current news down here. And you can just kind of cut and paste one of those into the current news section on your overview right here. Okay. All right, and then find the videos on YouTube, and the instructions are there for that. Just make sure they're school-appropriate videos. Find 2 for the 5 countries you choose. Okay. So, any questions, be sure to email me. There'll be a Google meeting meetup tomorrow. We'll just do it for half an hour. I mean, I'm by no means upset. Nobody's shown up for those. You don't have to. But if you do want to show up for them, it'll be from 11 to 11:30 tomorrow. And then Otherwise, just send your questions via email. I think most of you that have done that, I've been able to respond pretty quickly to, and we'll definitely want to keep up with that, since I think it's the best way to kind of go about getting help for stuff you may need help with. Okay, any questions, like I said, email me, and I look forward to seeing your videos and the information you guys find on your various countries. All right, thank you. Have a good week.